What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the Sage the Day palette. So y'all know I had to get this palette, right? Because it's a green palette, and I love when Colourpop does monochromatic things. So hold on, y'all, I forgot to grab it. See, this is what happened when you work 10 days in a row. I sure forgot to grab like the other palettes I was supposed to be, you know, comparing it to. So this palette retails for, I believe it's $18. I feel like these little things went up. I feel like they were like 14 before, and now they just magically popped up at 18. I don't know. Let me double check on Ulta's website to be sure. I'm talking about Sephora, child. Let's check Ulta. Since it's new, I gotta scroll all the way to the bottom, girl. It's probably gonna be pretty much at the bottom. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm right. It was $14. I was thinking about the bigger ones. So this retails for 14 bucks. My brown shade was a little damaged there. As you can see, it has like brown specks on the outside of the packaging. It seems like the shade is pretty much salvaged though. Like none of it actually broke out. So I don't know how that got on the side there, but whatever. Like I said, this is what she looks like on the inside. I was living for the shifting shade. Y'all know I'm in love with the classic blue brown pigment. So the fact that this is a blue brown shade in here, I was excited about. Plus, I wanted to compare it to, of course, you know, the child palette. We all had to have the child palette because he is just too adorable. So I wanted to compare it alongside this one. I like the fact that the child palette has a mirror, but this is what they both look like side by side. So I feel like they look somewhat similar, but like, you know, I feel like this has a couple deeper tones in it that this one doesn't have. So it all just depends on if you're willing to pay for like the Star Wars packaging, or if you're fine with just having this one, because you can buy this one at Ulta, but you can't buy this one at Ulta. You have to buy this exclusively on Colourpop. And of course it's going to be more because this is Star Wars, but I feel like they look pretty similar. It's just going to be another episode of 5 brands that dupe themselves with this as far as I'm concerned, because the only thing that's different to me is this shade right here, and the fact that this shimmer is deeper than the one in here. But otherwise, I feel like they look pretty similar. Anyway, we're going to put this one on the eyeballs today, and y'all know I have to use the blue brown pigment shade. I'm gonna show you one more palette though. I recreated my Just My Luck, so just keep in mind yours will not look like this. I combined it with the Meant to Be palette, and that's how mine got to look the way it does. So I know they weren't gonna look similar, but I still wanted to show them side by side since it is a green palette from Colourpop that I possess. So I figured it'd be interesting for you to see. So there we go with that one. I just dipped my thumb into that green shade. But yeah, it's definitely about to bring 5 brands to dupe themselves shop, because you know, like, you came up this last year, and then again into the new year, you come out with the same exact palette. Child, Colourpop love to do that. Let me zoom you on in real quick and cute like. If you're curious what's on my eyes right now, this is the Natasha Denona Mini Pastel palette. I have on the highlighter as well. I'm actually going to rank all of those right now. I'm just doing the intro for this video. So I'm going to go off camera, get my life in order, and I will be right back with you. Okay, girl? Okay. Okay, y'all. So this is the eye all done up and cute like. I think it looks stunning. But to show y'all the swatches before we start. So I did the child and then Sage today. So it's the child, sage, the child, sage, the child, sage, the child, sage. And the funny thing is, like, this is the deeper green in the child palette, but as you see, the lighter shade in the sage palette turns out to be the exact same color as this, which I thought was interesting. And then this is the sage as well. So it's like, this is the sage, and then this is the child, and this is the sage. And then, you know, the child, sage, the child, the sage, the child, the sage. So I feel like it has a good amount of the similar shades to it, to the point where you don't necessarily need both. But we'll see how the form on this one performs as opposed to that one, because like I said before, at the end of the day, this one would be a cheaper option for you than the child, because obviously the child is going to cost more because they had to pay for Star Wars. So I'm hoping that this one, because it's a dupe, would be a better steal for the people who don't really necessarily care about Star Wars. Because I think that one was $18, and that's what made me think this was $18. But again, it's because they had to pay Star Wars. So I'm starting off with the lightest shade in the palette. I swatched this against the pinky shade in the what do you call it? The child palette, and they both kind of have like a satinish like finish to them. When you swatch them, I don't necessarily feel like it necessarily comes off as satin on the eyes, but since it's a transition shade, I guess it doesn't matter too much. And the satin might help it blend in and to your skin tone a little bit better, look more like I guess, flesh like and natural. So that might be the purpose of making those particular shades satin. Don't quote me, girl, but I don't honestly know. We're winging it as usual. So then I took this green shade and put this in the crease. Y'all can tell this is the only shade that I could use as a transition. This one has sequins in it, which I wasn't excited about. It looks lighter than the one in the child palette, but oddly enough, when you swatch it out, if you rub it enough, it gets darker. So if you like blend it in enough, it'll be dark enough to the same color as the child palette. Of course, this is the one I use for the outer V. This was the lid shade. Y'all know I'm gonna go let the blue brown pigment pass me by, and then this is what I put in the inner corner. So of course the battery wanna die now. So I'm gonna start off putting the green on camera with y'all, so that way, you know, we can get that part done, and then I'll go get another battery and finish the green off camera. But yeah, I just literally just tapped it and just drug it all up and through here, all the way to the back, and then I drag it over the top of the darker shade. So once I get the once I get this fully dragged in or whatever, I'll come back, do the outer V with you all, the dark greenish olivish brown shade, and then I will dust this green shade we're doing now over that. But that's pretty much all got going on. I'm excited about the lid shade because, honey, I feel like it's serving, it's giving, and it's making this look the most smoky, fireish, greenish thing ever, and I'm here for it. So let me get a battery and I'll be right back. Yeah, so onto this brown shade for the outer V. I really like this shade because I feel like it's a unique brown, deep brown with like olive to it. That's what I rubbed underneath my lower lash line as well, if anyone was curious. I knew I wasn't going to do more eye looks today, so I was okay with doing that. If I do anything else, it'd be more commentary videos. Like I think I have enough for another 5 brands to dupe themselves. I've done a couple of those recently as far as filming goes. Friday, I usually don't try to like film any content, but since it's like a Friday where Adriangameover's out of school, I felt like it was okay to film content because I was like, you know, I didn't have to take anybody to school, so I'm well rested. I can get up and just film and, you know, live life. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and film and live life because he's out of town with his dad for the holiday, and he has to start school back Tuesday, so I know he will be back on Sunday, and here it is just Friday, and I'm getting stuff done. I'm trying to give myself grace though, and not, pun intended, and not like film a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, now let's put that green back over the top like I was telling you about, because I like the way it looks on top of the outer V shade. I feel like it just gives it an extra vibrancy, if you will. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm just tapering it extra along the outer part. I think that's cool. So there's that. So there we go. I think that looks nice. I'm gonna take the brush that we used the brown with and just dust over everything and underneath everything to make sure it looks nice and sharp. I know Karen's video for this already went up because I saw the thumbnail for it when I was going to upload my video, so I will be watching that. Y'all know we love Karen Harris over here, so I'm gonna go watch that probably while I'm editing this. But let me see, where's my glitter glue? Oh, here it is. So I'll get my little glitter glue ready, and then we're gonna cut and put the blue brown pigment on my lid, because I mean, I love me a blue brown moment. I'm sorry, like just blues and greens and purples are my thing, so a blue brown shifting shade is, you know, just gonna have my undivided attention. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. So cut crease, cute little glitter glue real quick and keep like. I'm glad to see everybody's still making lots of videos. Out here this time of year, people don't make that many videos because like the AdSense isn't that great or doesn't pay that well this time of year. So all the creators that do this like for actual living don't really make videos. But all the people like me who just genuinely love makeup do it regardless, because you got to think, for 4 years I didn't get paid at all. I just started getting paid like January the 3rd. So I just like doing it, and it's fun to me. So that's why I do it. It helps me through like difficult times in life and stuff like that. So now I just happen to get paid for it, but it's like y'all still gonna get a crazy amount of content just because that's the type of person I am. I told y'all, we already pre-filmed to March over here. Imagine if I actually like filmed a whole bunch more stuff while I was here today instead of, you know, giving myself grace. I'd probably pre-filmed up to like, knowing me, May. because it's like a whole bunch of palettes in the floor for the new series that I started, but I haven't like filmed all those videos yet. But it's like I had so many ideas when I initially came up with the video ideas. So it's like I got like literally like a box of just palettes sitting in the floor that I have to do eye looks to compare other eye looks to see if the new one is better than the old one, all that type of stuff. Because y'all know I live to give y'all a dupe moment. I'm just taking a dark greenish brown on the outer V now and trying to give myself a little more smoke, you know, hit him with the smoke. And then I'm going to go back in with the green and just give a little more definition in the crease, because I always feel like when I put the shimmer on, like it takes away the definition that I had in my crease. So I need to like reapply. And then we're gonna take that same clean brush. I'm gonna dust all around again because I want it to look as smooth and nice as possible and detailed as possible, because I'm not that great when it comes to cutting the crease and all that like the other girls be on Instagram with the sharp line and all that sexiness. We're not that good, you know. We're not. I'm not gonna pretend like I am. So we just gonna do what we can over here, okay? We're gonna do what we can. So now I'm gonna take the shimmer. Now I was a little disappointed by the shimmer in the inner corner, although it does look really similar to the one from the, what's that palette called, the In the Limelight they came out with last year. I feel like this shimmer is kind of similar to that one, so it's like I feel like I could put this in there with that too. But it's like, since it's just one shade and the majority of the shades in here look really similar to the Child palette, I wanted to make sure I swatched the Child palette shades. But I might put that up on Instagram or whatever. Okay, it's looking brighter now. I don't know what's going on, but when I put it on initially, I didn't feel like it looked as bright as it does now. So, ooh, excuse me. Thought I caught the hiccups for a second. Scratch that, everything's fine. But let's back on up and talk about my thoughts. So I feel like this is the good quality that Colourpop has. That when they come out with palettes like this, I like the quality of this one. I think it's really well. If you weren't interested in getting the Child one because you didn't care about Star Wars and didn't want to pay the extra fee that comes with having the Star Wars one, I feel like this would be a good alternative for you. Plus, you can use the coupon that they have at Ulta, the $3.50 off when you spend $15, and grab this. I believe it cost me like $12 or $13 with this coupon. So it's like I did still get some money off. Or you can just go to Colourpop's website and buy it. If you're planning on buying other Colourpop things, and use code Andrea. That'll be Andrea Montanalo's code. She's the only YouTuber that I watch that I know that has a code, or whose code I usually share, because I feel like she doesn't have that many codes and get that many sponsors as other YouTubers do. So I always try to push Andrea's code when I have a chance to. Y'all know how I am, but like the people I watch and I'm dedicated to, I try to make sure I give their code. So that's why I'm telling you, use Andrea Montanalo's code. That would just simply be her name, Andrea. But I like the quality of the palette. I think it's good. Like I said, if you don't have the Star Wars one, then I think you should get it. If you do have the Star Wars one, I don't think it's necessarily necessary. I feel like you can find a blue-brown pigment single shadow somewhere else. You might still have your blue-brown pigment from MAC in the jar. So it's like, it's not necessary. Because to me, that's the exceptional shade. And the only other exceptional shade is the one in my inner corner. And you got to think about it again. Like, if that's in the Limelight palette like I think it is, which I'm pretty sure it is, then it's like it's not really necessary for you to go out just to get those two shades. Like, you can probably buy those two shades from an indie brand somewhere and call it a day. So if you're looking for this color story in the palette as a whole and don't want to buy Star Wars, I say get it, because the quality is very nice. It's just, if you already have the Star Wars one, I'm not going to tell you to get it, sis. I'm just not, like, you know, gas and went back up to like almost $4 a gallon. I'm not going to tell you buy this palette, but it's not necessary, because buying that palette equals what, like 3 to 4 gallons worth of gas? No. Technically it'll be, I guess, 3.5, because $4 times 4 would be 16, and $4 times 3 is 12, so it'd be like that in between point. So I feel like that's like 3.5 gallons worth of gas that I'm telling you to waste on the eyeshadow palette, especially if you already have that one. So if you want to try it and you don't have Star Wars, get it. But that's it. That's all I got. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.